I want to answer some of the questions that you've been asking me. First, when do you change the feeds? Number two, when do I switch off the light? 3, at what stage do I stop heating or remove the heaters? So let me answer all that. The formula I gave you was good and it can be used any time from 2 weeks up to laying time, but the only trick here is you have to change the concentrate from the broiler concentrate to a layers concentrate. I gave you a formula of 150 kilograms of maize bran, 100 kilograms of broken maize, and 50 kilograms of broiler concentrate. That formula is good and can be used for many months. The only trick is to change the layers concentrate from broiler to layers, and also to change the size of the broken. Some of you call it corn or cracked maize, but you have to change the size from the chicks to medium, also large. We use those feeds to make these chicks gain weight, and because the broken that we put in is quite good, the kilograms of broken that we use is good for the chicks to gain weight as fast as we want. But just know, when you're going to use it for layers or the chicken that have grown up to 3 months or more, it is expensive. You might get money or collect a little profits from your chicken, but if you're someone who buy feeds from your nearby store, you're not going to get profits from this formula, because it is expensive to the chicken that have started to lay. Only if you can buy feeds when the cheapest. Your chicken are going to lay 99.9% of eggs, trays of eggs, but to collect money or profits from them, it will be hard, because if you use that formula up to laying time, it will be much expensive. The reason why we use such formula to these chicks, because they consume little feeds, and when they keep on growing, they need to change a little by little. For example, instead of using 150 kilograms of maize bran, you can decide to put in 200 or 250 when the chicken have started to lay. Your chicken can gain much weight, can lay very good, they can be healthy using that formula. So for me, when they make 2 months, I change it. When they make 2 months, I change the formula, or sometimes 2 months and a half. But I don't change completely the formula. I just multiply or add in some kilograms of maize bran. If you want to make money from this chicken, you have to feed them quality feeds in the beginning. When they're still young, make sure that you give them quality. You can decide even to mix 100 maize bran, 100 kilograms of broken maize, and 50. That is so much perfect if you have money. When they are still young, they consume less. You can decide to use any amount of money that you have, but when they grow old, when they start to lay, or when they become 2 months, 3 months, they consume a lot of feeds. So to use such a formula, it will be expensive for you, unless when you grow your own maize and you can decide to do the formula that way. I'm pretty sure that you collect a lot of money. When they make 3 months, that is when I change to layers concentrate, from broiler to layers, and add in some kilograms of lime. So I can decide to use 200 kilograms of maize bran, 100 kilograms of broken maize, and a layers concentrate 50 kilograms, and also I use 25 kilograms of lime. Next, at what stage do I switch off the light? when they make 4 weeks or 1 month, I start to switch off the light. In here I'm having 6 lights, so when they make 4 weeks, I'll switch off these 2, the middle 2 lights, just remove the bulbs because the switch is connected. It is just one switch that is connected to all these bulbs, so I remove the bulb, 2 bulbs when they make 4 weeks. On Monday I remove 2 bulbs. The next day I remove the opposite bulbs, this one in the corner and the other one in the corner. That is the next day. So the third day I remain with 2, so I decide to remove the one bulb and still leave 1 bulb lighting these chicks. And the remaining bulb, I make sure that I push it up to the middle. So I'm pretty sure I'll be remaining with only this bulb that you're seeing in front of me, and I'll push it in the middle. So the 4th day I put a polythene, black polythene or green polythene, to reduce on the light. I don't switch off, I reduce on the light, so they start to sleep slowly by slowly. They don't make alarms, especially in the evening. So that helps me to switch off the light slowly by slowly, and it prevents the death of the chicks. In the beginning I had 5 lights and switched off the lights completely in 1 day, and they started piling themselves in the corners without helping each other. They started dying each and every day up to when they started to lay. That is when they reduced that habit of making noise. Then the next day I just switch off the light and they sleep well. No one can find the chicks dead if you switch off that lights that way. You never lose one. The next question is, when do I remove the heaters? So I remove the heaters when the chicks have made 4 weeks or 1 month and a half. It depends. When it is rain season, I go up to 1 month and a half. When it is shining, when it is not rainy season, it is not cold, it is hot all day, I remove the heaters when the chicks have made just 4 weeks. In here it is daytime and I've just lightened only 1 stove, this middle one. Others are empty. You can see. When it is hot, I make sure that I light only 1 stove because they need light, they need heat. So I make sure that if it is cold, I light 2, both 2 of them, and I don't light the middle, I light the sides stoves. And at night I light 2, not 3. They have grown a little bit, so I no longer light 3 unless when it is cold or when it is very, very raining heavily. That is when I can light the 3 of them. But right now I light only 1 during the day, and in the evening I light 2. When they make 3 weeks, I'll be lighting 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. Also when they make 4 weeks, I'll be doing that, especially when it is cold. I make sure that I close the windows halfway when the chicks have made 1 month or 1 month and a half. I don't just leave my chicks to die, because I've seen people throwing away chicken after removing the heat because they think that they have enough feathers, so they feel coldness. Even the chicken that are laying also feel coldness, especially when it rains. When it rains up to this chicken I've made 2 months, I make sure that I still light a little bit. During the evening, I might not light the stove because I already switched off the lights and they gather themselves together. They can create heat by themselves, so I don't heat. Sometimes when it is very, very cold, I heat so that they can give themselves space to prevent death. I heat it, I light the charcoal stove and make sure that whenever you put in heat, they create space in themselves. So that is what I do most of the time. I think that is enough for today. So let me say bye-bye.